From winning the NBA championship just a few months ago to struggling for a playoff position this season, the 2022-23 NBA season hasn't been particularly kind to the Golden State Warriors.
And there's questions about the heightened sense of urgency of every detail matters, and when you want something really bad, like just getting a win, and then fourth quarter execution, clutch time type situations.
And their star point guard Steph Curry has apparently had enough of it. Losses can be damaging to any team's morale, especially if that team or its players aren't that used to losing. And the Warriors, although they have had a few shaky seasons, haven't been losing a lot of games in the last 7 or so years. They are a team that's used to dominating other teams and winning games.
This accomplishment, a bond that they'll have for the rest of their lives.
Winning execution down the stretch, over the course of just putting together 48 minutes. So my sense of urgency is high, but we're staying on the.
Since 2015, they've won 4 NBA championships, which is more than any other team during that time. A lot of their success is down to the brilliance of their star man and point guard Steph Curry. Curry is easily the best shooter in the history of the NBA, and he's a serial winner. For someone like him, the Warriors' struggles this year in the league would be particularly annoying, and he seems to have reached his boiling point. The recent loss to the Brooklyn Nets must have been hard to take for the Warriors, who look to be finally regaining their form. And speaking about it afterward, Curry talked with no filter. He was absolutely disappointed by the state of the team, as he claimed that he absolutely hates losing. Well, are we really surprised that a serial winner like Steph Curry doesn't like losing? Not really. And being unhappy about the losses doesn't quite cut it. It looks like he's practically enraged by the situation in San Francisco. Speaking after the game against the Nets, the 4-time NBA champion expressed his frustration with the team's performance.
Kevon was saying how maybe one of the reasons why he thinks that the laundry list of things is happening is you guys have had a lot of inconsistencies in the lineups, right? Whether it's starting the bench. Do you think that has played a role in?
He said that losing stinks, no matter what the circumstances are. You can make up a variety of justifications, but in the end, losing will always be a terrible feeling. The Warriors' point guard also provided an honest evaluation of their season so far. He mentioned that their record is 23-24 at the halfway mark of the NBA season, so they've obviously experienced a lot of losses this season. However, he suggests that the team needs to forget about the record and everything else, and not let the number of losses get to their heads. They need to bottle up their frustration and start acting like a team out there. But the big question is, can the Warriors still turn it around this season? Well, according to Curry, they can. To be honest, the Warriors still have the same core as they did last year when they became champions.
Except everybody on this court right now, it's amazing.
I think with the way our roster's built, there are a lot of options in terms of guys that can come in and impact the game.
So they have the players to do it. Players like Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Jordan Poole, and obviously Curry himself. These players can at the very least guarantee you a playoff spot in the league, but something just doesn't seem to be clicking. I feel like it could be the lack of desire and hunger in the squad that is causing this. Having won the championship in such fantastic style last time around, the squad seems to be a tad bit relaxed, and the results that are out there are basically a representation of that. However, their star man is still upbeat about the squad's ability. He shared a snapshot of the mood inside that dressing room, saying that no one in the squad has let go of that rope for now. Despite the frustration over the results, the team seems to be determined to turn things around. Curry said that the squad still believes that they can do it and finish the season strong. But before they can do this, they'll have to solve this one problem: consistency. Yep, as simple as it may sound, Golden State's biggest problem is that they just haven't been consistent. As I already mentioned, the core of this team is the same as the one that won the championship. After being hampered by a less than pleasing start to their new season, the Warriors have to show some promise. In fact, they have to show a lot of promise.
You knew it early. He wanted to wrap it.
He batted it to an open spot. Poole got on the deck, threw it at Steph's feet, behind the back.
His experiences together, so he was just proud of me.
Congratulations to you, Steph. You're a champion again.
Thank you. Come here, girl.
There have been a number of times when everyone thought that the Warriors were back on track to recover their season. However, they fell back into their slump whenever they looked to be on the road to recovery.
Steph is holding that left shoulder. And Curry, going to have to take a timeout here. He took a swipe.
Something happens and they end up losing multiple games in a row. So it's not that they haven't shown the ability to mount a recovery, it's the sustenance that is the issue. They take one step or a couple steps forward and then 2 to 3 steps back. And with that kind of rhythm, it would be difficult to mount any sort of recovery in the league. They have managed to put up some amazing performances in certain games, such as their recent win over the Cavaliers and their last game where they overcame a rampant Grizzlies side. Finding a way to maintain their form is the next step on their path to a playoff spot.
To who?
You didn't see it?
He threw his. Yeah. I did see that.
You know, pots and pans, like you said, spatulas, bacon grease jars.
You mean
all
nothing
over the
at
place.
the house.
Nothing.
No. Yeah, exactly.
For me, they need to stop looking at their position in the league and just keep focusing on one game at a time. Try to put together a series of good results and then start looking at the bigger picture. But did Curry have an explanation for their inconsistency this season? You bet he does not. Curry is just as perplexed by the situation as everyone else. I'm not sure, said the Warriors star point guard.
Whoever threw me out, I kind of blacked out. When I threw it, I was like, I'm not really going to throw it on the court. So I threw it pretty hard, but I didn't think it got into the stands or put anybody, in danger. So maybe I didn't hit the floor too hard, but.
He said that it's just that you have to do all the things over again, season in and season out. If you win the championship like they did last year, the new season is always a new story, and you have to do it all over again. To be honest, they ended last season superbly well. In their last 20 to 22 games of last year, they literally looked unbeatable at times, and I just feel like that stretch has taken a lot out of that squad. Coming into the new season after the run they finished the previous season with is obviously a lot to live up to.
Shooting 37%.
Ability to be on the stage and play with amazing teammates.
But we've built this for 10, 11 years.
And as I already mentioned, they just don't seem to be that hungry anymore. Well, Curry seems to have realized that too, and he says that the squad needs to start owning up to their performances. It's up to everyone in that dressing room to stand up and take accountability, because if they don't, they're going to prove that they aren't a very good team. And if the Warriors hate losing so much, they better fix it up pretty quickly. Well, Curry and the Warriors don't have much time left to make a recovery. There are only like some 34 games left this season, and if they don't pick up momentum sometime soon, they might not even make it to this year's playoffs. It already looks like a difficult task for them, but if they don't start winning games soon, it could be curtains for their ambitions to defend the title. Even if they somehow manage to qualify for the playoffs, it would be hard for them to go far with how things are looking right now. The only real silver lining for them this season is Steph Curry, who looks to be at the top of his game. If others such as Thompson or Green can start contributing with some performances, the Warriors can easily return to their best form in the league, but defending the NBA title seems to be a task beyond their reach for now. Well, that's all, folks. Let's see how Curry and the Warriors finish the season. See you in the following video.